Train the trainer. So somewhere I was more inclined towards training my students who can be people who are studying, who can be people who are budding psychologists, and sometimes people who are not fully functional psychologists due to their own reasons. For example, if there is someone who's taken a break post marriage or post delivery, and they were not able immediately to resume and to get back into practice as a psychologist can be difficult. Maybe someone took a very long break due to whatever reasons, or they just graduated from a distant education course, and but they still want to. They have that interest to work with people, but they are not full fledged as a full fledged psychologist. They are not able to function, but they still want to take over this kind of a coaching. Can they can very well take up life coaching. That would be a good option as long as they are trained to do it. But I think if you are already someone from the psychology background, this is something which that easily will just like that pick up. I'm telling this out of experience because I had this curiosity of what is this life coaching, and many people are speaking about it, which is becoming popular these days. I took up a course, which was quite expensive. I took up a course to get trained in this life coaching, to see what it is, to learn what it is. Though I did not have much of, honestly, according to me, I believe certain things which are scientific. Psychology is a science of behavior. So for me, I just wanted to learn what it is and just give it a try and to see what it is. When I did the trainer program, it so happened that whatever process they taught us, we had a master who taught us certain processes, which were nothing but the same thing that we have learned, the same kind of techniques. The terms are different, the terms are quite different, and in a very simplified method, the master presented it and taught in a very layman language, which was like which he could reach a larger group of people. I think there were few counselor psychologists like me. Many people were from different backgrounds. To anyone, that was very understandable. Some were entrepreneurs and from other things. So that somewhere I felt that as psychologists, mental health professionals, or someone who's interested to work with people, this would be a very beautiful option if you are able to contribute something in a person's life. Because compared to the number of trained psychologists available, the number of people in need is more. In most of the sectors, there is a very big role for counselors to play. And if we look at the number of trained counselors, it's quite less, I feel. So that way, I thought this can be something that we can apply and we can work and we can contribute something to people, depending on what we want to do. So, generally, life coaching is about touching different aspects of life. All of us have a personal life. Personal life is not about only families, it can also be my own space, my own time, my space, and what I really want to do, what I really want to be doing. No, something of my own wish. It's not that I'm always dedicating or sacrificing or playing different roles. I can also play the myself role. me, myself. Relationship coaching is like a kind of like relationship with a partner. We were looking into this series of helping survivors of emotional abuse. So that is just an example of what contribution we can make in relationships when we are a coach. It can be any kind of action. It can be something simpler also, not as complicated as an emotional manipulation. Even simpler issues, couple can still have their own misunderstandings. So to work on it and to strike a balance over it, this kind of coach will be helpful. Health, of course, is something that we are giving least importance to. We are running around for various things, neglecting our own whatever is the need. Just a second. Give me a minute. Sorry, it was an unavoidable call. Thank you. We were talking about relationship coaching. Next, we were talking about health coaching. Somewhere, I think by health, we mean both mental health as well as physical health, emotional health. Everything is very important. It's not that I run 24 by 7 doing work and I don't take care of my own self and I fall sick very often. So, majority of what I'm earning, I'm spending it to the doctor, and sometimes we do doctor shopping as well. So, in those cases, when people are really struggling with certain things related to health, I think coaching in certain areas is very important. Not every illness needs a medicine. Maybe people are sometimes not aware of it. Health coaching, many a times, because there's a strong connection between the body and the mind. Sometimes, if we are not mentally happy, the body can go through a lot of illnesses, frequently falling ill. Immunity goes down when that individual is going through a lot of stress. So, that way, when emotionally that individual is able to heal and somewhere even giving some body movements, any kind of body movement therapy. I'm calling it as body movement therapy, but that can be given in any form. It can be walking, jogging, yoga, cycling, or going for dance classes, or even for Zumba, whatever is comfortable for that particular individual. So that way, some work with the body also helps a shift and drift in the energy of the thoughts, the mind. The mind can be activated by doing physical work. Sometimes some people, maybe they're down with some health reasons. They visit a lot of doctors, They take a lot of tests. Then finally they sometimes like I myself have seen this kind of a case. A person, he had lost stomach pain, so many doctors, they went, he underwent a surgery also, and many reports, they showed normal, 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 but still his pain was not subsiding for whatever reasons. Then finally, after going through all this doctor shopping, he ends up in a psychiatric hospital because they referred him to a psychiatrist, because nothing is wrong with your body, so please have a check over your mind. So this person has been depressed over a long time. He did not have awareness that he's depressed, neither his family, because he was going through a marital issue, and his wife and child like abandoned him for quite a period of time. So he was missing his child a lot, and he was not allowed to see the child. Such things were going on. So, what I'm trying to say is, after that kind of intervention given at a psychiatric hospital by psychologists, social workers, and a little bit of medicines helped him. He recovered from it, and we had to do the kind of couple counseling to help him. So that way, health is something that is very important, and to coach individuals on healthy lifestyles too is important. Coming to careers, whatever said and done, money is very important. Money is very important because that's the first thing we need when we open our eyes for our own survival. When we wake up in the morning, we need a cup of coffee, tea. Nobody gives us milk, free. Nobody gives us tea powder, free. So I think maybe to shed off this idea that people maybe told us that money is not very important. No, it's not that. Money is definitely important because it's not possible to survive without money, and it's okay for people to feel good that every year we have career goals. Maybe if you are an entrepreneur or whatever you're doing, you can you have your own training center, or whatever. Maybe you're working somewhere also. Compared to the previous year 2025, 2026, I have some financial goals. So that is very important. And career wise, people can be experiencing dissatisfaction also. And it's important for us to help that particular individual to check on whether they are in the right path or not. So, to be in the right kind of career for that particular individual, to just check on whether aptitude, they have aptitude towards whatever they're doing. Maybe they might be an engineer who dissatisfied with whatever they're doing. Just check whether they have that knowledge in that subject. If not, they can always upgrade themselves, and to look in whether the person really has interest in it or was pushed into it. There can be many doctors who are forcibly pushed into it, because many years back, I think during my school days, soon after finishing 12th standard, the first priority usually which parents used to option the parents used to give is either become a doctor or become an engineer. So whether that student likes to become a doctor or not, they were not concerned, and they taught children that being a doctor is something great, so please become a doctor. So when we push them into that, we don't know whether they really have interest towards that or not. Thirdly, to suit the person's personality. Career should suit our personality. So, if I'm someone who cannot sit at a place and work for long hours, and we make that person a software engineer where he has to sit in front of the laptop for 8 or 9 hours, that's definitely not going to help. So, this is all about life coaching, and we are going to look at today exclusively one such aspect of personal coaching that can be helpful when you are conducting a coaching session. And moreover, when I am doing this train the trainer program, it will be like we taking that upon ourselves so that we never forget it. And it's a two way. One thing is, I get reformed, I get clearer, and when I apply certain things on myself, I don't forget it. I don't need a book or notes to refer it. Secondly, it will be, I will use it in my career. I can use it in my I can take forward this as a profession, as a life coach. And let's look into other aspects. Yes, I was telling you, I was speaking to you about me undergoing this kind of coaching from a master who is generally from, who's actually a yoga coach and coach. And as I told you, I'm not someone who believes such things and was not much into all this, but it made total sense when I took it over, took that up on myself. I felt that it really worked, and that's why I'm carrying this message here today. Who can provide life coaching? A person who is trained and has basics of counseling. Basically, when we are working with people, when we are helping professionals, or we can continue to be helping professionals only when we have qualities like being empathetic towards our clients, towards the patient whom we are working. When we psychologists can work in hospitals, we call them as patients, but in a private clinic we generally refer to them as clients. And necessary training before attempting to become a life coach will be mandatory. And there are definitely standards of ethics, professional ethics codes to be maintained. It's not that I just like that as a layperson randomly I can say anything or do anything. No, there are definitely some codes of conduct which a life coach needs to follow, because this is definitely not a personal relationship, or just I am not talking to the other person like a friend. The person is paying me for the professional service I'm rendering. So I need to do justice to obtain the expected results. So I truly work on it with boundaries, because it's a pure professional relationship that I maintain with my clients, and I plan out the review sessions with my clients weekly once, or once in 2 weeks, or once in 10 days is decision that the life coach and the client together can make. So usually one session is definitely not enough when we are taking up coaching. When I'm speaking about personal coaching, a little bit of the mind I want to talk about. So we all know that the conscious is something that is we are aware of, what we are very much aware of. So now you and I are aware of that we are here together for a purpose, and we are talking about life coaching, personal coaching, and what are those benefits. Such things we're talking. So this is there in each of our conscious, and we have a purpose of why we came here. And subconscious is certain things that we already know, and even without putting conscious effort onto it, it just like that comes with ease. For example, A woman who has expertise in the kitchen, she can have the thousand and one thoughts running in her mind. Still, she will come out with the same recipe of sambar. It's possible. A man who is riding his bike for 10 years 10 years plus, automatically, when he though he's thinking about various things, he will subconsciously, he will know where to start, where to stop, and where he's going, the route, all that will be registered in his mind when he's daily going to a particular office. Similarly, driving, whether it is driving is for generally we call it is for car and other four wheelers, and riding is for two wheelers. So for women also, whether it is a car or whatever they are not taking, no, they know, even with though all the six senses are involved in the process, it can happen subconsciously. Sometimes they might be thinking about something else, but still all the senses work because I'm tuned to it, I'm used to it, and I know it. I have mastery over whatever that particular activity I'm doing. So then comes the unconscious. The unconscious is something, maybe without our own knowledge we are carrying it even today. Even today we are carrying it's not like completely washed out. Sometimes we can think about it. You can tell me if you've had some experiences of some dreams, occurrence of certain dreams related to the past, which you thought actually you had forgotten, or consciously we don't think about it in today's day-to-day life. Consciously, I don't think about it, but still, this particular dream comes to me, or this particular person came in my dream, though I did not think of that person now. If you've had these kind of experiences, you can put a thumbs up. Yeah. So many a times we are not aware that we are carrying forward something, but still it doesn't mean that it is erased. That is a baggage that is in the baggage that we are carrying in the present. Just to show the different layers, I just put this flower diagram. Different layers, the conscious, subconscious, and somewhere unconscious is there deep inside. So just getting back to personal coaching. So for today, let us just do a particular activity. Due to time restriction, I leave it to you as homework, but I would like to present a case to you where one of my client took this activity. So the activity here is to cleanse the mind of whatever is like is there held in the mind. So let me give you instructions of what you need to do so that it will be helpful. Okay. So I want each of you to just make a note of what you need to be doing so that you can do it at your free time. So the title of what you're going to jot down as points will be My Unfulfilled Goals slash Desires slash Wants in the Past. I'll repeat it once again. My unfulfilled goals, desires, wants in the past. So, this particular individual who took up this is a 36-year-old married woman, And she had totally, during this activity, when we did this activity, she had written 34 unfulfilled desires or wants. So similarly, but then even after writing this at that particular moment, later on many can be recollected. Maybe day one, when the woman did this particular activity, when my client did this particular activity, she was able to recollect 34 of some unfulfilled things. But later on, the next day, when she wakes up, she'll remember something else. So, whenever she remembers whatever new things that is coming up, popping up, when we're doing something else, also suddenly that will pop up. So when these kind of things are coming up, I asked her to write down, again to write down for that particular day what all she was able to recollect. So how do I help this client to cleanse the mind? So what consciously, as a coach, I suggested my client to just keep things which are necessary in your mind, and to just delete whatever is not necessary, just to try, and see if this works. So out of these 34 points, I just asked her to go through each of the points, and certain points can be taken care of now. In the past, or when I was a child, I was not able to do certain things. I was dependable on someone else. So I was not able to attain certain things. But now, as an adult, as a 36-year-old woman, this person can definitely, the woman is the woman is employed, is well educated and employed. So she is in a position where she is capable of providing for herself. So, so those statements, for those statements, I asked her to give a weightage from 1 to 10 of how intense that is still for to her. And then to give a counter statement to it. So if I give an example, I think it will be easy for you to understand. So one of the first point itself that she has written is, I wanted my mother to be with me during my childhood, during my adolescence, and during my young adulthood. I still remember I was left alone with my grandparents. I longed for her love. I'm continuing to long for her love till date. Is something that the client has written. So when I asked her what is the weightage you're giving to this particular statement, how hurtful or disturbing is it to you? For, by 1 being minimal and 10 being maximum. This is what we call a sociometry. On a scale, we are valuing it. So the value she gave was 10. So it is really intensely disturbing to her. So I asked her to give a counter statement to this. Like for example, I'll just an example. Like I was waiting to receive love for so many years. Now I'm willing to give love. I'm waiting to give love. I'm wanting to give love. I can give love. It's not only to the mother character. Maybe whenever that longingness towards the mother comes, give love to someone who's around you. Not especially go behind that mother and give love. It's not necessary to go behind the mother and give love. Whether the mother wants to meet that individual or not is we don't know. What is there in the mind of the other person, we don't know. What we can do is to only take care of our own thoughts, our mind, our happiness. So when I'm unhappy thinking about this thoughts of the mother, then the person can show love to someone around. It can be even keeping water for birds, some grains for birds, or watering the plants, or when I go to the when that goes to a temple, offer food to some beggars sitting there. Don't offer money, offer food to people. When someone around is really struggling to pay their fees, there can be someone who's working in the house, their children, to just help them to get their education, and donate something, some books to children in orphanages. Recently, for my birthday, I wanted to contribute something in an orphanage. But for me, I felt that rather than food generally we think that children can get a good meal and we pay for it. But we don't know, many children are wasting it in the plate. They don't like certain things just because they are abandoned or something. We cannot expect them to force them to eat whatever we are giving them. We should first ask what they want or what they like and then give them. நல்லா வடை பாயசம் வச்சு நம்ம சாப்பாடு போடுறோம்னா நம்ம வீட்டில் இருக்க குழந்தைங்களே நிறைய நேரம் they don't like that vada payasam. So these children, we are not giving them an option. So I said that if there's something related to education, please let me know, books or stationery or whatever. Then they sent a list for the science exhibition which is going to be conducted. These are items. So whatever was feasible for my financial situation, I offered whatever I could. So this is just an example I'm giving to show love on people. So that satisfaction that client can get when they're indulging in any kind of showing love to animals, birds, plants, trees also, even trees. That is why I mentioned ecotherapy. Ecotherapy is the connection that we have with nature. We say that nature provides us, nature will bless us. Maybe there are many people who still believe that we are seeing the God in nature in our tradition. That is why the Pongal is coming up. So Pongal is a festival to celebrate harvest. So people respect the soil, plants, whatever fruitfully it has given us. The sun god, sun is prayed as God. Then turmeric. No, all these natural elements. No, and in our culture we have this tradition where we make columns every day in the morning, and the reason is that we are offering food to ants and other insects to eat. So it's not, I generally don't go with rangoli colors. Other if I really want to color it, I will use turmeric. I'll mix turmeric powder with the rice to make it. So that kind of certain things we can actually eco-friendly way we can try it. So this is one way in which that unhealed longingness for love of that individual can be healed. Then another point, I wanted my mother to accompany for checkups till date. She has hesitation to do that. I wanted lower baggage of academics. My body didn't support too much of study pressure. And then I couldn't participate in cultural activities. All this, when I asked this particular client to give a rating from 1 to 10, she was not able to give any rating. So, I told her, could it be a scrap then? This is something that is still you remember, but it is no way going to be helpful. The academic part is over. You are already graduated, you are already a postgraduate. Those school days are over. So no use talking about the academic pressure in childhood. That is nothing to be. Cultural activities in childhood, I didn't participate. No, you didn't participate. That's gone, and it's not very mandatory now. To your current life, it's not very mandatory. So then, certain elements can be considered as scrap and can be deleted. So the client has written, I wanted to live as of family. Yeah, that didn't happen in the past, right? But that she herself cut it as a scrap because today she has a family. So sometimes that realization doesn't come that today I have a family, but I'm still thinking that I did not have a family, which is very predominant, and I haven't forgotten that. So, while doing that process, so in this paper, the person has cut it off. Every scrap the individual has realizes that it is a scrap thought. Scrap is something to be removed out of the house or mind or whatever. So, cutting it off gives a sense that it no more exists, and that doesn't come by doing just doing it one time. Whenever the thought pops up, and the in the coaching process they write down, we cut it. We help them to cut it off. So the person has written, I wanted to travel to different places, which was not fulfilled. So the counter is, it is easily possible for me to travel now. As an adult, as a 36-year-old adult, she can make a decision where she wants to travel, how she wants to with whom she wants to go, whether the friends or whether it's for family outing that she's looking for, or personally she just wants that me time. That decisions that individual can take. So, certain things can be made possible now, certain things can be neglected as scrap. So, this kind of an activity can be helpful for cleansing the mind. So, we are doing two things. We are three things. We are removing the scrap out of the mind, and we are giving self assurance to ourselves. We are giving self assurance by going through this process. Third is emotional healing, because in certain cases there can be very strong emotions. In the same case itself with this client, I'm asking her to do something related to the mom, but there'll be deeper issues when we get into to the topic of a relationship between the mom and the daughter, and what it was in the family, how it affected the family, and how it affected relationships with other people. So such things will be a bigger story which they can tell the coach about, so that we can help them to heal out of whatever they underwent as a child. As a child, if someone did not have a proper family at all, then that's going to be very difficult for that individual. So this kind of healing can be done using expressive arts, any form of visual arts, storytelling, and drama. No, when we do this cutting process, also cutting the scrap is a psychodrama process that we are doing. Psychodrama is, we enact something, and we tell our mind that it's not necessary, and we somewhere we are enabling our mind to remove it as though it has already happened. So this kind of a technique is we use in psychodrama. There's various things that we do, but there's a very simple form of psychodrama which can have we can inculcate. Then music and dance, I told you, making movements, any form of movements can be helpful, and music obviously can be healing. And music therapy can be in two forms. One is composing our own music, or just reflecting on some music that we hear. So that can be also a way in which that individual can help themselves. So I want you to try whatever I have explained to you today. That particular activity of getting into the past and jotting down the points. Please do it without fail, so that you can check on yourself whether it's working or not before you apply it to someone else. This is only one technique of personal coaching, the initial technique of personal coaching, which I've just shared with you. There are many more things that you can do step by step, not one at a time. That's why I mentioned with our client, we cannot just stop with just one session. Coaching is a process that might require a month or two or three. The coach and the client together will decide on what it's going to be, and what we're going to do in the process, depending upon whatever the client brings up. So, cleaning up the past baggage is one thing that we looked into, and there are various. I have only taught you just one method. There are various methods of cleaning up the past baggage, and they'll be requiring intense work when it comes to certain forms of abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, some domestic violence. Such things, intense coaching will be required to help them to heal. And expressive arts is a wonderful way in which we can help people to overcome things which they're not able to verbalize. To verbally say something is very painful to people, but to speak about the same issue as though it happened to some other character can be easy. That's what we do in storytelling, one of the technique in storytelling. And even to draw whatever it is, like, you know it is lighter. And restructuring the thought patterns. Sometimes whatever pattern we are using, if it is not helping our survival, it's okay to restructure the pattern. I was using a particular pattern, it was not helping me. So now I'm trying something different. It's nothing but cognitive behavioral coaching. The term, that's what I told you. The terms in life coaching are different, but the content is like, again, something that cleaning the inner baggage and all is that inner child healing, the transactional analysis concepts that we have in our psychology, and the Freudian concepts of the unconscious, the Jungian concept is what we use most of the time in storytelling and other modalities. So it is a scientific way, and somewhere when the same kind of wavelength and frequency a person is like upgrading themselves, they attract those kind of people around them. Maybe they had similar patterns of people around them, because like attracts like birds of the same feather flock together. People with similar thought patterns, structures only can get along with each other. They can travel with each other. So if I want a change with the kind of like people I'm like with, if I need a better kind of environment around me, the best thing I should do is to work on myself and restructure my old patterns which are not effective, and look into how I can rewire myself. And thereby, When some cleansing happens, we start attracting certain things when we are able to put our mind in a more positive mindset. When we are experiencing negative emotions, emotions is a deeper topic. I'm not getting into it. Emotions can be positive as well as negative. So, people who ponder, if you have looked around, people who ponder on negative emotions mostly attract negative stuff into life. I think this is what people are calling as the law of attraction. But it's again, I'm telling, it's about the thought and the feeling. Based on my thought and feeling, I attract people into my life. Some people can get into abusive relationships very frequently. That is because maybe they're attracting the same. Maybe they're attracting that. Maybe that in when I was working on my PPT on emotional abuse, helping people, survivors of emotional abuse, it was that, like, even a case which I was dealing with, I was just connecting both. So there's a father who is physically abusive and very arrogant at home, very dominant at home. And from childhood, he's been abusing that, I mean, beating, physically abusing that girl child. So this girl is not still settled, being a middle-aged woman, has had a lot of partners, but she's not settling down in a marriage relationship with any partner because the person is most of the people in the past relationships, the three, this is the fourth relationship that she's trying to work on. The past three, she had similar patterns of people who are physically abusive. So somewhere I had to educate her that it's not that people are getting coming to you, or maybe when you're in that particular place where people are seeing you as someone who will not object for an abuse, they're choosing over you. Somewhere your body language is expressing those kind of is giving that the energy which you are generating, the frequency, the wavelength which they are attracted to can be this way, the same pattern. And that is a known pattern for that particular woman. Home is the safe place, house is the same place, as per whatever is taught to us. Though it is safe place or not, we don't know, but that is what is taught to us. So that way, so my father, someone like my father, I'm attracting someone like my father. So that way, those patterns which I'm not changed in myself can be bringing in these people is what I'm trying to tell. So if those negative emotions can be converted into positive emotions, maybe we attract a lot of happiness, health, wealth, joy, many nicer things in life. So I think because we are dealing with something heavy, let us take some time for reflection for each of you about what was some new takeaway from for you from whatever we saw, or you want to share something based on your own practice and experience. You can speak about it. Yeah, feel free. Anyone can talk.
As you said, storytelling is a very powerful tool. It's to express their emotions. Maybe the characters, as you said, when it is them, they may start crying. When it is said that it is an animal or something, their story they depict on the animals, then it's more like they are healed. They say. And when I deal with children, when we ask them what will happen next, and they are finding new responses, and that is a coping up strategy they are learning.
So in storytelling, sometimes the method which I use is I'll ask them this: draw an animal test. So the animal which they are putting will mostly be in projection of themselves. children who have behavioral issues when they're referred, like maybe they're being too naughty in class, mostly the choice of animals would be um, a jaguar, tiger. Beating other children will be tiger, lion. No, someone who's very restless connects with a monkey. And I've seen this difference between male children and female children. I'm not generalizing, but generally when you ask a female child to draw an animal, to pick an animal, they generally go with a puppy, cat, rabbit, deer. But it is not. It is like the opposite for the guys. Sometimes even people with body image issues, if they feel they are fat, they'll represent themselves as an elephant. Is something that I saw in my practice. All right, thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? You can,
Um,
yeah, share. Yes.
just to add to what ma'am said, even so, in my own personal therapy sessions where I take therapy, storytelling happens as to when my therapist takes time to, towards the end to bring to a conclusion. She uses like certain metaphors that work really well. So she gives like certain in the form of storytelling certain scenarios wherein it delivers such a deep meaning that when you go back with it, you when you sit by yourself and you retrospect, when you see everything else, all of these things happen. So you are able to restructure your patterns, understand what you're carrying in your past and things like that. So I do agree as to how storytelling can help, and I personally have seen that effect on me itself. So yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else wants to speak? You can tell me what your takeaway is about what newly you learned something, if at all you learned anything new.
Cutting the scrap, the taking away the scrap is the insight I got today, because that is also a baggage that we are carrying, where we are filled in and then there's no empty space.
Mm.
So cutting off this creates space where our creativity can develop.
Yeah, and that's creating space for new thoughts,
Yes,
newer emotions.
exactly.
Hope this was helpful to you. If at all you have any doubts, you can ask me in the group, or you can also privately ask me. So, thank you for your patience and to listen to me. And I'm very happy that all those who joined were consistent throughout. And this I'm something able to see in most of the sessions which I'm conducting these days, because only if you are really inclined towards a subject and you find it that it is useful, people will stay. So that I'm feeling that it's like something like good when such kind of sessions happen. Thank you, participants. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Swati, for the informative session.
Welcome, ma'am.